The grand hall of Sector 7's most prestigious space station gleamed with polished metal and crystalline structures. Representatives from 100 worlds had gathered for what many called the Trial of Strength, a competition that would determine who would win the hand of Princess Toriel of the Valorian Empire. Toriel sat upon her levitating throne, her luminescent skin shimmering like captured starlight. She was considered the most beautiful being in 3 sectors, with eyes that held the depth of nebulae and a grace that made gravity itself seem clumsy. But today those eyes held only boredom. "Next," announced the herald, his voice echoing through the hall. A Krathar warrior, 7 feet tall with muscles that could crush starship hulls, stepped forward. His species was renowned throughout the galaxy for their physical prowess. He approached the princess with confidence, his 4 arms flexing in anticipation. The challenge was simple: lift the princess and carry her across the ceremonial bridge, a distance of merely 50 meters. Whoever succeeded would prove themselves worthy of her hand and unite their world with the powerful Valorian Empire. The Krathar warrior bent down, wrapped all 4 arms around Toriel, and pulled. His face turned crimson, then purple. His muscles bulged until they seemed ready to burst. The princess didn't move even a millimeter. "Impossible," he gasped, releasing her and staggering backward. "She must weigh as much as a moon." Toriel sighed, a sound like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. "I am Valorian. Our bodies are composed of compressed matter. I weigh approximately 12,000 of your Earth pounds." A murmur rippled through the crowd. 12,000 pounds. 6 tons of impossibility wrapped in an elegant form. Next came a cybernetic prince from the Mechanus system, his body more machine than flesh. Hydraulics hissed and servos whined as he attempted the lift. His systems overloaded within seconds, smoke rising from his joints as he collapsed in defeat. One by one they came. The anti-gravity specialist from Hovaria, whose technology inexplicably failed. The telekinetic master from Psi Prime, who suffered a neural hemorrhage from the strain. Even the champion of New Olympus, genetically engineered to possess the strength of ancient gods, couldn't budge her. Hours passed. Dozens failed, some gracefully, others spectacularly. The pile of defeated suitors grew, as did the princess's melancholy. She had known this day would come, the day when her own nature would make her untouchable, unliftable, unwantable. "Is there no one?" she whispered to her attendant. "No one in all the galaxy who can—" "Excuse me," interrupted a voice from the back of the hall. "Is this thing still open?" The crowd parted, revealing a human male in grease-stained coveralls. He was unremarkable by galactic standards. No enhanced musculature, no cybernetic augmentations, no special powers. Just a regular human, average height with calloused hands and tired eyes. A mechanic's patch on his shoulder read, "Levon Dock 12 Maintenance." "A human?" scoffed the Krathar warrior. "I have 4 arms and failed. What makes you think your weak species can succeed?" Levon shrugged, wiping his hands on a rag. "Didn't say I would succeed. But my shift doesn't start for another hour, and I figured, why not?" Toriel found herself intrigued despite her exhaustion. This human showed no bravado, no confidence, no desperate need to prove himself. He simply walked forward with the casual gait of someone approaching another day's work. "You understand the challenge?" she asked, her melodic voice carrying a hint of curiosity. "Lift you, carry you across the bridge." "Yeah, I got it." Levon cracked his knuckles and bent down, studying her for a moment, not with the gaze of a suitor, but with the analytical eye of someone solving a mechanical problem. "Your center of gravity is lower than it appears," he muttered. "And the density is uniform, so no uneven distribution. Standard princess rescue protocol shouldn't work. But if I adjust for the mass differential and leverage point..." Without further ceremony, he slipped one arm behind her shoulders and another beneath her knees, positioned his feet and lifted. Toriel rose. The hall erupted in gasps and shouts. The princess herself stared in disbelief as Levon straightened up, holding all 6 tons of her in his arms as if she were nothing more than a particularly heavy toolbox. "How?" she began. "Humans evolved in 1G gravity," Levon explained, already walking toward the bridge with steady, measured steps. "But we didn't evolve to just survive it. We evolved to work in it. To build, to carry, to never stop moving. Your average human can deadlift twice their body weight. I work in a dock where the artificial gravity fluctuates between 0.8 and 1.4 Gs. I'm used to compensating." "But the others," Toriel protested. though she found herself leaning into his shoulder. They were stronger. They were specialized, Levon interrupted, his breathing heavy but controlled. The Krathar evolved in low gravity. Their strength is efficient but not enduring. The Mechanis Prince relied on technology. The others used powers that work against normal matter. But your compressed form disrupts their abilities. Me? I'm just a guy who's been hauling engine parts since I was 16. He reached the bridge's midpoint without slowing down. Sweat beaded on his forehead and his arms trembled slightly, but he didn't stop. He didn't put her down. He didn't complain. Why are you doing this? Toriel asked softly. You don't know me. You don't want to marry me. Levon chuckled, a warm sound that vibrated through his chest. Who says I don't? But honestly, everyone back there was treating this like it was about them. About proving something, winning something. But you've been sitting there for hours, watching people fail to literally lift you up. Figured you could use someone to actually succeed for once, even if it's just a mechanic doing his job. They reached the end of the bridge. Levon gently set Toriel down on the ceremonial platform, then stepped back, rolling his shoulders to work out the strain. There you go, Your Highness. One princess delivered as requested. The hall exploded in chaos. Officials argued about technicalities. Warriors demanded rematches. And the Valorian attendants rushed forward to verify what everyone had witnessed. But Toriel only had eyes for Levon, who was already turning to leave, his hour of free time apparently up. Wait, she called out, her voice cutting through the noise. You won. You completed the challenge. Levon paused, looking back with a crooked smile. Did I? I mean, I just helped a lady across a bridge. If that makes me a winner, then I guess humanity's been winning quiet victories for millennia. Will you stay? Toriel asked, surprised by the hope in her own voice. Will you claim your prize? Levon considered this, scratching his chin thoughtfully. Tell you what, Princess. I've got a 12-hour shift starting soon, and I'm pretty sure marrying into alien royalty comes with a lot of paperwork. How about you come down to Dock 12 sometime? We can talk over coffee, the human kind, which is probably terrible by galactic standards. If you can handle a mechanic's hours and greasy food, then maybe we can discuss the whole prize situation. For the first time in years, Princess Toriel laughed, a genuine, delighted sound that made the crystals in the hall resonate with joy. It's a date. Levon of Dock 12, as the human mechanic walked away, leaving a hall full of confused aliens in his wake. Toriel realized something profound. Sometimes the strongest person isn't the one with the most power, but the one willing to carry weight when everyone else has given up. And perhaps that's what made humanity so dangerous, so special, so utterly fascinating to the wider galaxy. They didn't just survive their heavy world, they thrived in it, and they brought that endurance with them to the stars. The end.